Rewatch it. It has to be embraced.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I've now watched it about 3 times. I've got to say, I enjoyed it more the third time. What saves it for me is the regular carry-on crew that I left. I mean, she says they were trying too hard to compete with the Confessions films, which would be true if it wasn't for the fact that the last Confessions film was made in '78 as well, from a holiday camp. But then again, saying that, there were a lot of these films made around that time. You know, the Amorous Milkman, Can You Keep It Up for a Week, What's Up Super Doc, um, Ups and Downs of a Handyman. So there was a, yes, and Rosie Dixon Night Nurse, which stars Lance Percival, got a cameo in that, and Donald Sinden's son. And the Adventures of a Taxi Driver, Adventures of a Plumber's Mate, which also stars the head waiter from the Vault of Horror sequence, and and Arthur Mullard. He's in it as a heavy, and then the last one was Adventures of a Private Eye. So there were a lot of sex comedies. A lot of Mary Millington, Come Play With Me or something. There was soft.
A lot of Mary Millington, she committed suicide. She do hardcore porn, but she's soft porn version. The Debbie Galaxy Affair and Come Play With Me and all that. And a lot of like Henry McGee and that starred in them. So yeah, they were trying to imitate a lot of the mid to late 70s sex comedies, and also take the piss off of Emmanuelle with Sylvia Crystal. I mean, I give it a generous 6 out of 10. I mean, that's been really generous, because really it should be about 5.5. To round it off, I thought I'd give it a 6. And I know I've covered this in videos, but I shall tell you why I've rounded it off to 6. Right, so what saves it for me, because it is probably close to being one of the weakest of the Cannon films. Directed by Dick Bush. Production supervisor Roy Skeggs. Is what saves it is definitely. Oh, there's Bally special effects, so he's still alive. What saves it for me is, first of all, the excellent, solid performance by the late Kenny Conner as the chauffeur of the house.
Yeah, Kenny Conner as the chauffeur really holds it up. For me, he is the star member of, which, you know, close to one of the week. Even Gusher said something that I said when I reviewed it, which was, it's his carrying name, and it does feel like a version of Carry On, but it's different. I mean, the funky intro music called Love Crazy, I think Kenny Lynch said it. It's like a late 70s disco funk. You know, it's really strange. It's like it's like a late 1970s funk music. I think it's called Love Crazy. Totally. Yeah, so Kenny Connor really holds it up. I'll give him a solid 8 out of 10 for his performance. He holds his own up. Jack Douglas as the butler plays a really good part. Plays it plays it with pure conviction. As does Kenny Connor as the chauffeur. The house used was actually in Wembley. You won't believe it, but it looks like it's actually in London itself, not one of the suburbs. But Peter Butterworth, he's a solid 7 out of 10. What was his last Carry On film? As the doddering footboy. John Sims as I'm not sure what area she is. Is she the chef or just the lady who looks after? She a solid 7 out of 10. Larry Dan as the obsessed stalker, you could call it, who she seduces on the aircraft at the beginning. He's a solid 7 out of 10. A lot of cameos in it as well. Oh, what's in it? So, Susan Danielle, who at the time was the girlfriend of Patrick Mower, she's a solid 7 out of 10. Kenneth Williams, solid 7 out of 10. For me, the winners, which saved the film for what is a relatively weak Carry On film. The Carry On film, but it does feel different. Is definitely Kenneth Connor and Jack Douglas. They for me saved the film from never coming out of the box ever again. I mean, I kind of prefer it over Jack, but I say it's middle of the road. It's average Joe. So I would happily say that I'm ashamed that all this time Carry On Emmanuelle with my previous complete Carry On box set, which I'd not looked after properly and some were scratched, and this one that I've had now for a bit, which I think I got from your Sainsbury's. Yeah, I would say 5.5 out of 10, but because of Kenneth Connor's performance and Jack Douglas's performance, I rounded it off to 6. I mean, like I said, it is being very generous. It really doesn't deserve a 6, but for me, they save it, and it kind of was the last of the great. Well, not last of the great Carry On, because that would be Carry On behind, and even Carry On England and Dick. Well, no, Carry On England is all right. It's a lot better than Emmanuelle, and it's a lot better than Jack. Largely thanks to Kenneth Connor and Windsor Davis, who they keep that movie afloat. But Behind, oh yes, Behind really, is a fantastic film. Dick, England's all right. So, yeah, I would say it's a close thing between Jack and Emmanuelle, which is propping up the team. I would say Jack and Emmanuelle are not far behind each other. I'm not going to pick which one is the absolute worst. That way, there is no worst. But yeah, Emmanuelle, Carry On Emmanuelle definitely does have a different feel to it, a different vibe from the usual Carry On films. Starting with the funky 1970s song Love Crazy, which I think Kenny Lynch has got a hand in that one. A very disco funky intro, which is total departure from the usual you know, like the theme tune for Carry On Behind. So if it wasn't for the title, you wouldn't think it was a Carry On film. But so yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Then again, it's not as great either. It's middle of the road, you know. You definitely could see that, despite the efforts of Peter Rogers and Gerald Thomas to try and get the Carry On films to move with the times. Although you only see actually, you only ever see one pair of tits in this, and it's only for like a split second. Most nudity is the ass and the back, naked from behind. But there's only one brief tit, and that's kind of towards the end when. Yeah, but like, I mean, I either feel that the way trying to compete, let's say, with the Confessions films, with the Amherst Milkman, the ups and downs of a handyman, Can You Keep It Up for a Week, Pace's Progress, What's Up Superdoc, Rosie Dixon Night Nurse, and a host of these. What some of the films that Mary Millington did, David Galaxy Affair, and all that, and but yeah, so we're going to start. We'll probably start from the last one and work our way back. But Emmanuelle is not as bad as I thought it was. But like I said, it's not fantastic either. But
I think, yeah, definitely. Like I said before, the saviours of this film is Kenneth Connor and Jack Douglas. Capering is usually over the top as a French ambassador. Susan Danielle in one of her first major films is okay. John Sims is okay. Peter Butterworth doesn't have much to do, but he's okay. Larry Dan plays the mummy's boy, who's played by Beryl Reid, on a very same street that me and you went down that day and took that picture of what we thought was Sid James's house. That's where Larry Dan's house is in the film. So, 6 out of 10.